Some of these questions are related to the percussion concerto, so I thought I'd include some of these. A question from someone in Carlisle about how many different percussion instruments are in the concerto. Do you know?
Oh, you know what? I think the soloist has, I think it's something like 26 instruments. He's got one little table with a whole bunch of small instruments all laid out on the table. I realized because Colin lives in London, he was going to have to bring some of these things over in a suitcase to Philadelphia, and I thought, well, that's, you know, if I write something with big gongs, this is going to be a bit of a problem, you know. So I think that overall, if you took both of the percussion section and Colin, there are probably about 60 or 70 percussion instruments that get used. Yeah, that's a lot of running around.
Yeah, there's 4 stations. There's 4 different stations
Yeah.
on it. And another question of, did you ever drum?
You know what? I have played drums. The high school I was in we were primarily a marching band, which maybe you could hear in that cadenza. And I did play drums in the marching band. We had a competition band, and they moved everyone around to where they needed them if there were people missing. But I did at one point play drums, but not on that level. I mean, you know, it was more like a 1 and 3, 1 and 3. So it was not very exciting drum stuff, but.
Well, another good question related to the percussion concerto in a way is a question about how did you learn the tone, timbre, potential for instruments on which you have not trained, especially the non-melody percussion instruments?
Yeah, you know, people ask me this a lot about orchestra, too. They're like, well, how the heck did you learn the tuba? You obviously don't play the tuba, you play the flute. And composers study a lot of scores to figure out what works and what doesn't work. We take orchestration classes a lot, which is a book. You have a book that says this is the range of the instrument, this is kind of what it sounds like. But I think years of playing in orchestras and also conducting orchestra, and then you make a lot of guesses. You make tons and tons of guesses, and then you hope like crazy that the things will work. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have one rehearsal, they run through it, and you have to make immediate adjustments. Most people don't realize this. I think I wrote that percussion concerto over four months or so. And then we had an hour and 20 minutes to put the whole thing together with a soloist, and that was it. That was all we got. And so you've made a lot of guesses, and you hope all of the balances work. And if they don't, then you have to kind of guess real fast what the problem is, what's an issue with what you've written, and what is the orchestra learning? Because they play different as they're learning a new piece. And then you just hope it works. It's actually really scary. It's the hardest part about being a composer is that one rehearsal.
Yeah.
I mean, who's ever heard of putting a piece together in one rehearsal? It doesn't really work. I have to say the Harrisburg Symphony's been great because they actually have done 3 rehearsals of this concerto, and they sound phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal.
Last night was fun.
Yeah.
Last night was fun. It was really coming together. Nice.